It's like now you know. Now you get to take what has been such a struggle for you because you did not know it existed. Now you do. Now you get to change your whole life.
Is that once you understand who you are, now you can actually play the game the way you want to play it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Information is power. Knowledge is power. Understanding yourself is power. And I think
And so you need brain hygiene. You need mental hygiene. And you need to have a daily practice of what you're going to do in order to become the best version of yourself.
one of the heaviest burdens you can carry is not being your full expression of yourself. Take off the masks. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's hard. It can be scary, but it is so much more of a better life when you do that.
Wow. This is Curtis McCullom with the Curtis McCullom Show, where we delve into the mindset of top CEOs and entrepreneurs actually around the world to share with you what it takes to be and become the best version of yourself. You know, Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs and founders and high achieving entrepreneurs really eliminate those blind spots they've been kind of dragging around since childhood, things that kind of give them blocks right now, keeping them from reaching their full potential. So if you feel like you're stuck or like something is holding you back, please don't wait. Please schedule a free clarity call with me today. I'm not scary. I'm a nice guy. Well, maybe sometimes, not all the time. I'm a nice guy. Give me a call. Use the link below and let's uncover what's really standing in your way and get you moving forward. And by the way, if you are enjoying this show, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. It's so important because that helps us support others who really are looking for a way to transform their lives. Today, I have in studio Karrie Lemansky. I'm telling you, this young lady, she's a dynamite. So, and she, I'm gonna let her explain it, but I just want to let you know that she's a business strategist and a coach that help young ladies or women really in late diagnosis of ADHD. Now, this is something that kind of I didn't know about until we had a conversation, a pre-conversation. But I'm telling you, if you're a lady or you're a man, to now you can help others become better. This is the podcast you really want to listen to. Karrie is the president and founder of Karrie Out Loud. Karrie, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Curtis. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I can't wait to have this discussion.
Karrie, the way I always start the show is the same way, is because, we've all have our journeys, right?
Yes.
I think I tell people all the time, I was a country boy from Mississippi, moved to California about 40 plus years ago
Mhm.
and got started in sales and
Yes.
moving, you had the ups and the downs and the
Uh-huh.
crazy turnarounds and all this crazy stuff that happens to us on this journey. So kind of share with the world a little bit about your journey, who you are, and kind of how did you get to now Karrie Out Loud?
Well, I have been a business owner on and off for about 25 years, so half my life. I got started in my early 20s, and I knew very early on that a desk job, that the 9 to 5 was just not my jam. It just wasn't for me. And so I started my first business and I took it to 6 figures in my early 20s, and then I burned it down and I couldn't understand why. I was so burnt out, I couldn't keep going. And then I would go into a day job and get laid off and go back into entrepreneurship because it was just so natural for me. This happened a couple of times, and I had one additional business that was very successful. And again, the same thing happened. So when I decided to start Karrie Out Loud, I had broken both of my legs. I was I was healing from that, and I had just been laid off my job, and I said, I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm going all in. I'm going full time. I'm never looking back, and I'm going for it. And so I started my business and went full time into coaching. So I'd owned 2 other businesses that were not
Right.
coaching businesses. And I knew that I knew business, sales, marketing, strategy, because my first business was in the time of flip phones and Thomas guides, right?
There you
So,
go.
right?
I remember those days.
Yeah. So it was like organic. It was very organic how I built that business. And I knew that I had a lot to offer, especially to the online arena. And then I got diagnosed with ADHD in 2023. And I finally realized why things weren't connecting. It was because I was trying to do things in a certain way that didn't work with my natural rhythm and who I was as a person. I was looking around me thinking, this is how I have to do things to be
Right.
successful. And at the end of the day, that was just a bunch of bullshit that I believed from programming and society and all that crap. And I realized that I had this unique talent of being able to help other women who have been diagnosed later in life with ADHD, who feel the same way,
Right.
have somebody who can support them in creating a business the way they want to that works for them and their life, and to have a lot more financial freedom and a lot more freedom in general. Once I got my diagnosis, I leaned into that and I have not looked back because that is who I am supposed to help, because we're here to see the upsides. It isn't about, woe is me. Oh my gosh, I have ADHD. It's no, it's like now now you get to take what has been such a struggle for you because you did not know it existed. Now you do. Now you get to change your whole life. That's what I
Beautiful.
did. That's what you can do. I proved it. I'm here to prove that you can do it too. And so that's really what my brand and my business is all about.
And that's a beautiful brand in business, and I like to just add to that, being a mindset expert and a mindset coach, one of the things that I even came to realization about a couple of weeks ago is like, number one, I'm going to show up the way Curtis shows up,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to be authentic to Curtis and
Mhm.
who I am and it doesn't really matter because I'm not looking for everybody out there, guys. I'm not.
Right.
God bless you. If you find me and I find you, we have this spiritual connection that we can actually work together.
Mhm.
That's the person I'm looking for.
Right.
But the bottom line is, I think what you're sharing too is that once you understand who you are, now you can actually play the game
Yes.
the way you want to play it.
Yes, and understand you're not for everyone.
Right.
You are here to attract your people and repel the ones
Yes.
who aren't for you, because I am, like I said in the beginning of all of this, I'm like, I am really sweary. I don't hide that in any of my content. I don't hide that
Right.
on my podcast. When you walk up to me on the street, you're going to get the same human being as you're listening to right now. And one of the trends that I see as a mentor and a strategist and a coach are these, for me specifically with women, trying to fit into these boxes or be
Yes.
like another coach or be like another mentor, thinking that's what's going to work for them. And when I tell them, no, unbox yourself, you have a
Yes.
key in your hand, get out of the fucking cage that you're in right now and be you. And then we hear be you. And then we're like, well, what does that even mean? What are your core values? What do you stand for? What do you not tolerate? Speak up about those things. That is what you build your business and your brand around. It's going to be authentic to you. There's nothing that can stop it. It's when you're trying to sew parts and pieces of other human beings onto you, that's when it gets really screwed up. And so, helping women see that they can take off masks or facades or things they think they have to be or structures they think they have to fit into, and see that it's just not true. It isn't real.
Oh,
It's
it's not
something we
real. It's
make
not,
up.
and you know what? And that one thing about that, Carrie, I think you'll agree, is that it's tiring.
Yes.
You know
Why
what?
do you
And
think I
it's like,
burned those businesses down?
yeah, you're talking to women, but I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah.
It's freaking tiring
Yes.
to put this mask on, like, this is
Yes.
not who I am. I
Right.
mean, yeah, people want you to jump through boxes the way they want to jump through boxes. I think one of my personal coach said she talks about the fact that people always should have on you, you know?
Oh, yeah. They're shitting all over you. Stop shitting all over people. I say that to my clients all the time. I'm like, don't let people shit all over you.
Maybe that's what you told. Maybe I got that from
Maybe.
you. I
Maybe.
don't know, but basically, I always should do this, should do that.
Yeah.
I don't have to
Nothing.
do shit.
Yes,
I don't have
exactly.
to do it,
Right.
basically, because that's not authentic to me.
Right.
I have to show up the way I show up, and this is the thing. This is the thing. We talked a little bit about it before we got online. Is number one, whatever's going on in a person's life right now, that's what's going on in her life.
Mhm.
Back in the day when I first started in motivation, these motivational speakers used to say, well, they look outside, it's raining, it is raining, but they'll tell you, no, it's not raining. Think of that is the sun is shining. No, it's raining. That's reality.
Yes.
Reality is it's raining outside. Now, since I know it's raining, I agree that it's raining, I can make a decision what I want to do.
You nailed it to the wall. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Information is power. Knowledge is power. Understanding yourself is power. And I think that not just for ADHD women, but I think for entrepreneurs, as
Yeah.
we go through, we have masks we wear. And I think that as we get further in and realize that the masks are what hold us back,
Yeah.
not ourselves, it's who we are pretending to be. Because, like I told you, my very first business I had was a six-figure business. I was a realtor. I built that from scratch. I told you before we started in the time of flip phones and the Thomas Guide, right? And so I remember doing that and burning it down, and I'm like, "What's wrong? Why?" I wore business suits. I hate suits. I dressed in ways that it were not of me. I spoke in ways that
Wow.
I thought I needed to speak because that's how it was to be a real estate agent, and that's how you were supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
However, I had success. I sold 20 houses my first year. My highest year, I sold 36.
Wow.
And the first year that I sold 20, the national average was 2. Okay.
Wow.
So my highest year, I made like 275K, which in today's money is about 400 plus,
Yeah. Easy. Easy.
you know, and I burned it down. And I'm like, why would I want to do that? Why would I let go of this real estate practice that I had built into what it was? And it was because a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was not being myself. I was so masked up and so not myself in a lot of ways. And so I decided to just burn it down, and I handed my clients over to somebody I had mentored and trained. So I knew she
Right.
would take amazing care of them, and I went into staying home. I stayed home with my son.
Wow. Wow.
And it was like, I didn't know why. I didn't know why I did that. And
But then
now I do.
okay, so let's just kinda look at that then, because when a person start to talk the way you're saying it, is that they burn it down, or because look, guess what? I've done the same thing in my life,
Yeah.
okay? But when I set a goal when I first got into sales because I wanted to become a motivational speaker. We talked about Zig Ziglar,
Yeah.
Tony Robbins,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jim Rohn, and Tom Hopkins, and all these
Sure,
guys.
sure.
These are my mentors. I used to ride in the car, like you said, with the Thomas guys. I had like a 3 different county Thomas guys
Yes, me
and
too.
cell phone and all this stuff in my car, and I used to play tapes all day
Yeah.
while I'm driving, right? And I set a goal, and when I was first when I first got into sales, I set a goal to become number 1 in the company.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
within a year and a half, I was there. I was,
Yep.
like, on the top of my company, and this is what I did. I got up on stage now,
Oh, no.
and gave my resignation speech during this is no joke, during my number 1 speech. Everybody's there to cheer me on. I'm like, "Screw you, drop the mic," and I walk off the stage,
You
right?
are one of my new favorite people. That is so fucking glorious. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall in that moment. Okay, what happened? Was everybody did you
Oh, man, I mean,
finish the
because
story?
it was interesting because now, I mean, we went back, we kind of jetted me and my wife jetted back to our hotel room. We got calls and we got threatening calls because I embarrassed the company and all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. What happened though? Right? This is what I want to get to though, right?
Yeah.
What happened? For me, what happened was part of me that I had not healed
Mhm.
and that I was not being honest with. I always thought that success was hard and difficult.
Yes, it's not. It just
And it's not.
depends.
Basically, but that's what though? But that's the programming I was running
Yes.
that caused me to make a decision like that. And then, like you said before, what made you make your decision is like, look, this is not me. I'm not being authentic to who I
Right.
am, which is still this programming that we kind of run against our programming. But
Yes.
that's the bad programming for me now, right?
Mhm.
Because that didn't happen once, that didn't happen twice, it probably happened 3 times
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
programming kept every time I started a business, and I've started a few,
Yes.
every time I got really successful,
Yeah. Here it
and,
comes.
and like for you, like just like you, I mean, and this is the thing people don't understand. I think we both agree with that, is that a blind spot or a challenge in our lives does not stop us from being successful.
Correct. You're
But
right.
it
Yeah.
does stop us from being authentic to who we are and being happy and being prosperous and
Yes.
being energetic and showing up the way we wanna show up.
Yes. And also, there are a lot of human beings, especially the women that I work with, and
Right,
I know it's not exclusive to this, who
right.
have a fear of success. And so when the
Mm,
success happens, we're so used to feeling like shit and we're so used to feeling negativity and we're so used to those kind of programs in our life that maybe we've lived with because of whatever situation has
Yeah.
happened in
Oh,
our
yeah.
life that we get to that success and we're like, wait, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm supposed to be happy and this is supposed to bring me all the joy that I could possibly have in my lifetime. And money is great. It is. I want to make as much of it as possible. Why do you think we're entrepreneurs? We don't want a
Right.
ceiling. We don't want a ceiling. But also, time is the most valuable currency we have. Money is a renewable resource. Your
Yes.
time is not. And if you've built a business or you've gotten to a company like you, place in your company like you did, mic drop, bitches, when you did that, it was probably, I'm guessing, because one, you didn't feel like yourself, and two, that was not what you thought success was supposed to feel like or mean or any of that stuff. And you're like, F
Man,
this,
you
peace out.
talking about language now, Carrie, because this is what I thought. I'm like, this is what I'm saying. You mean to tell me I worked this hard for this
Yeah. Yeah.
because of the fact that I didn't set what I consider now when I help my clients with an aim goal
Yeah.
versus an end goal.
Yes.
An aim goal is basically who do I want to become?
Right.
An end goal is I want to be number one in the world and I want to make
Yes.
a six-figure income. So
Yes.
when I get there, if I don't have something that's going to continue to drive me forward or what's truly driving me forward, that's going to make my life who I want to become, who I want to be,
Mhm.
then it's unfulfilling.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what happened to me.
Makes
It's
total
like,
sense.
I mean, and so when we think about it, so even though, yeah, a lot of women suffer from ADHD,
Mhm.
and have that feeling, but they didn't
Yes.
even know these hormones because I'm telling you, my wife, when she was going through premenopause and menopause,
Ugh.
she was like, "What the
Mhm.
is this?"
Yes.
And she's working out, she can't lose weight.
Yep.
Nobody knows anything.
Yes.
Nobody can really say, "Hey, women need to have more protein in their diet. Women need to do this." This thing with women is real. Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs, founders, and entrepreneurs get rid of those blind spots that they've been carrying around since childhood. So if you're stuck and have some blocks, click the link below for your clarity call or scan the QR code if you're on video. Let's get rid of those blinds. Now back to the interview. Real.
Yes, we are underserved. If you are not a white male, let's just be clear. If you are not a white
I'm
male,
saying
you
last
are
time I checked, well,
yes. So that's why I know you can get it. It's like, and not to point that out, but like if you're not a white male, medicine and a lot of society is not set up to support us. And so when we go into the doctor as women saying there is something going on, I know it.
right,
They're like mental health condition. Here you go. You have anxiety and depression. Here's some
right.
meds. Bye bye. I was treated for anxiety and depression for 12 years
Wow.
medically with medication that was not the right thing.
Right.
And I was the one who realized I had ADHD. I went to my doctor and he says, "No, Miss Lemansky, you don't have ADHD. You have anxiety and depression, and we just need to get your anxiety under control." And for 14 months, I
Wow.
just believed it and kept going, like, oh, well, he has a white coat, so he knows everything.
Mm,
And then finally, it got so bad because it affects every area of your life. It affects your
right.
work, it affects your home, it affects your friendships, it affects everything. And I finally got to the point where, like, no, I know this. And so I went back to my doctor and bugged him because all he had to do was send me for an assessment. It just required a referral.
Wow.
That would have been what he needed to do. And so finally he did that. It took me 3 weeks just to get him to do that the second time when I asked him. And then finally, the doctor I got to who knew his shit was like, oh, yeah, it's very clear because it presented itself in childhood. It like had a lot of the
Mm,
hallmarks that are missed in women because 5% of women are not caught in childhood, whereas males, young boys, they show it externally. Women,
right.
we have it internally. And so enter perimenopause, which starts around 35, and menopause, which goes in, our hormones go wackadoo. For men, the symptoms with ADHD get better because they're able to create different ways to support themselves and hormones don't come into play. So they
Right.
have the ability to. With women, it's the opposite. It gets worse as we get older until we finally are like, what the is this? What
Right.
is this? And then we don't get listened to and then slapped with a mental health diagnosis when it's a neurological condition. It's like having
Right.
diabetes or a heart condition. It's under that same umbrella. It requires
Mm,
treatment and management. It doesn't go away. It is forever. There isn't a cure, et cetera, et cetera. However, there are ways to manage it and support it where you can not only live a good life, you can live the better life than you ever
wow.
fucking imagined you could have. And so that was such a huge deal of really standing up for myself because I had just went through life going, well, I just guess this is the way everything is, even though I'd had
Mm.
success, even though I had that success and burned it down and didn't understand why. And then I said the 6 words that almost every person diagnosed later in life, and I think this is men and women because it applies to both, is now my whole life makes sense.
Well, basically, and this my part of my philosophy is this, and this is part of my philosophy, is that for me, once I understand
Yeah.
what's going on, then I can actually play a game with it, right? I
Correct.
mean, that's my philosophy, and I'm gonna give you an example of that. About a year or so ago, my wife goes in and get her examination. Her mom had just passed away. She had dementia, and
Mhm.
so she goes into our doctor. Our doctor says, "Your cholesterol is a little bit elevated, and so we need to put you on a statin." Okay. I said, "Well, that's good, but we don't really." I try to stay off medications
Mhm.
as long as I can, and
Yes.
if I don't have to go on medications, I don't.
Yes. I
And I
agree with
thank
that.
God or the universe, whatever you wanna think, that I don't take any medications.
Right.
So what I did for my wife, though, what I did for my wife, I create what we call these, bespoke daily mental supplements.
Mhm.
These are curated meditations
Yes.
that actually mimic what the symptom was, right? I mean, what the medication would do. And so what I
Interesting.
did was I created that for her
Hmm.
for a statin. So I looked up what does a statin do, and so I programmed per program within these 5-10 minute meditations that she was doing. These are not just general meditations, guys, that you're gonna get off the street. These are things that I curate myself
Right.
for you. So with these
You deal with
meditations,
neuroplasticity, right?
yeah,
Helping you
yeah, yeah,
reprogram
yeah,
your
yeah.
brain.
So basically with this, we were able to she listened to this and she was able to drop her cholesterol like 40 points, right,
Amazing.
over a 3-month period of time and
Amazing.
not having to go on statins. What I'm saying is that, first of all, once you understand, okay, I'm being diagnosed with X, now I can know what I'm playing with. I
Right.
know what I'm dealing with.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
some yeah, and that's so powerful though.
Yes, and the other thing that doctors do is they don't give a shit about root cause. They do not give a shit. They're like, "Oh, you have this, take this." I'm like, "Excuse me, is there a reason why this may be
Right,
happening before we go down that avenue?" With ADHD and with ADHD medication, I knew
right.
immediately I was going to utilize it because
Okay.
I understood the success rate of it. I knew that where I was in my life, that this was something that I was going to give a shot. And that was the way I approached it. I'm like, if it doesn't work for me, I'm not going to keep taking it, right?
Right, right,
For me, it really, really it changed my fucking life. However, I have clients who do not wanna go down that route, and
right.
I do not for me, it's like, you need to do what works for you. You
I
need to
love that.
do
I
the
love it.
things the way I'm not here to, like, shame anybody into doing something they think they shouldn't do, and if somebody doesn't wanna do medication or try it, there are other ways to support yourself. There is neuroplasticity is a real thing. We can literally change the shape of our gray matter in our
Yes.
heads with doing something over and over and again. As we get older, it gets more challenging to do that. We have to repeat it even more often. But
What
did you ever see the example of the guy who learned how to ride a bike where when he turned it right, the wheel went left and he turned it left and the wheel went right? And it
right.
took him 2 months to learn how to ride that bike. And then it took his son 2 weeks to learn how to ride that bike. And then
Right.
when he went back to the old way of riding his bike, it took him 20 minutes. But it took him 2 months.
Right.
However, he reprogrammed his brain to understand that what he's done his whole life, which is turn right when he needs to go left and turn left when he needs to go right, that took 2 months, but he was able to literally create that new neural
Yeah,
pathway. That's how
yes.
people who have strokes end up being able to get their use of limbs back sometimes is because they work in physical therapy with that neuroplasticity and the repetitive motion. That is also for our mental wellness. That's something we
Oh,
can reprogram. I really do believe that. And so I believe that if somebody wants to get support, like you were saying, for cholesterol or for anything and try that avenue because if that works, if that gets to maybe the root cause that your
Right.
doctor was not trying to get to you. And I'm not a doctor.
No, no,
I
no,
don't
no,
play
no.
one
Hey,
on
hey,
TV.
that's we can stop.
Disclaimer.
I tell people, I tell my clients, number one, I'm not a doctor.
Just
I won't play one on
that's
television
what I
either.
say all the time. I'm not a doctor. I don't play
And
one
so
on TV.
I am a coach. I
Yes.
am a coach, and
It's personal
I do deal
experience
with the
and
mind,
clients. It's
right? And I deal with the mind, and
yes.
basically, this is the deal is, and some of the things that this is the beauty part of what I do too, Carrie, is some of the things that I'm able to do with my clients because I am an expert in neurolinguistic program, and I am
Yes.
an expert in. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist,
Yes.
and I'm also certified mental and emotional release. A lot of these
Mm.
things that would take people months to do, we can get them done almost sometimes as little as 10 minutes.
Yes.
We can knock some of this stuff out.
It's crazy.
Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs, founders, and entrepreneurs get rid of those blind spots that they've been carrying around since childhood. So if you're stuck and have some blocks, click the link below for your clarity call or scan the QR code if you're on video. Let's get rid of those blinds. Now back to the interview. But that's the whole ideal is
Yeah,
this is the thing, and I love what you're sharing with us. You have to figure out which route you want to take,
correct. There's no
and
one
then
right way.
there's no one right.
it's like saying there's only one way to drive
Oh
to your
no,
local Target.
no.
Bullshit. You can take side
Well,
streets. You can
hey,
take the
but,
freeway.
trust me, I know about that because I was born and raised in the Christian family and religion,
Oh, yes.
and I
Then
was
you
told
really
there's only
understand.
one way to get to heaven. Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's narrow. So it's like, so I mean, that's the wrong. And I drove myself crazy growing
Yeah.
up. I was like scared to death every day. I'm going to
Sure.
hell. Oh my God, I'm going to hell today.
Yes.
Oh, tomorrow.
And it's
So
very
basically, no,
real.
there is more than one way to skin this thing, guys.
Yes. Yes, for sure, for sure. And when we're told that there's only one way to do something and we know inherently as a
Yes.
human being that that's a load of bullshit and we don't call it out, we just go along with it. That's part of not being authentic to yourself.
Well, basically, this is the thing, though. This is one of the challenges is that when we go into, and that's what people don't understand what is a hypnotic modality, right? A
Right.
hypnotic modality is when someone of authority with the white coat that has a degree
Mhm.
tells you to do something and you do it without actually allow them to program you.
Right.
Like you said before, allow them to program you saying, this is your thing and you can't do anything about it. I remember this is, and then I want you to introduce how people can get in touch with. This is
Sure.
what happened to me. My dad died 19 years ago, so
Mm.
and he died of heart disease. So
Mhm.
immediately I'm like, oh man, the light bulb came on for me. And so I
Yes.
went to my doctor and I got on the treadmill. I did all these things, and he looked at me as a black man. He says, "Well, no, you don't have it yet,
But
but more than likely you will. So you need to go ahead and start taking medication." It was a little bit elevated, but not to the point. So I says, what now I need to do? This is what he told me. You're not going to do it. I'm like, what the hell?
wow.
Right. No, you're not going to do it. I mean, what do you mean I'm not gonna do it? If you tell me what I need to do naturally to get rid of it, I'll do it.
Right.
Well, I did it, and then when I went back, I just what the finger in the middle, that's what I gave him.
Oh
You
man,
don't
I have
you
a
you
story
you
about
don't tell
that.
me what I can't
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Because of the fact that that's what the problem is that these
Yeah.
people at the white coast on sometimes tell people things that they cannot do or won't do, or they just give you a pill and says, go home. And if you continue to do that, I think you said you did it for 10 years.
Yes.
You just went home and took it, but it wasn't solving the root cause, it was
No.
solving the problem
Right.
until you figure out what the problem was. And now you know what the problem is. Now you
Yes.
can play the freaking game.
Yes, and it's called the practice of medicine, not the perfection of medicine. And it's really funny because I finally got diagnosed and saw him in person again.
Right.
So you know how you talked about the whole middle finger. So I go, so here at your, here, what kind of training do they give you about ADHD in women? And he goes, oh, the standard. And I know what the standard is. It's basically none. And I said, oh, and what is that? And he's like, well, not really anything. And I go, so why wouldn't you send me to get an assessment? And he goes, I am not joking you, Curtis. I wanted to jump across the table, but I contained myself. He says, well, with TikTok these days, everybody is diagnosing themselves And so women are coming in and they wear ADHD like a badge of honor. And if they don't get diagnosed with it, they get upset. And he is saying these words as a medical physician, as a
Right.
doctor, out of his face hole. And I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. And then I started spouting off statistics. I go, did you know that most psychiatry students in their 4 years of residency get absolutely no training at 97% of colleges, and there's no questions on the exam? Did you also know that women blah, 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 and I just started spouting on
Right.
off all this. I go, you may want to do a little bit more research on this before you he goes, well, it's the most overdiagnosed and underdiagnosed. And I'm like, I'm going to just stop talking now because
Well,
then
well,
what?
well, because that's his world, right?
Exactly. And so what did I do with that? I'm going to go out and be like, hey, here's the personal experience I had. Here are
Right.
the symptoms. Here's what it looks like. Here's the actual information. Here are the books to read by the actual people who've been studying it for
Right.
fucking 40 years. Dr. Ned Hallowell being one. And those are, and they talk about the upsides of ADHD and how you unlock your gifts versus the things that are bad and how he
Right.
reframes it and all that. And that really, to me, is when I can spread that education versus the bull crap that is being told to us when we're diagnosed and all of this stuff like, oh, you're too smart. You can't have ADHD. Oh, you've been too successful in your life. You can't
Right.
have ADHD. It's lies. It's lies. As a matter of fact, a lot of us were put in the gifted program as kids because we can take information, process it really fast, turn around and teach it to you tomorrow to a million
Right.
people. That's how our brains work. And
And
so it was just a really enlightening moment for me to be like, yes, I believe in Western medicine, clearly, because
yes,
you
yes,
break your
yeah,
leg, you need somebody to fix it.
yeah. You need, yeah, right.
Right. But
This
if,
is when you break two legs, right?
yeah, like I did. But when you challenge them, they don't like it, especially as somebody who's not a white man. Anybody who challenges it, and anxiety and depression are actually side effects of undiagnosed ADHD. My depression resolved itself completely and my
Well,
anxiety has lowered. So
and
it's
usually too,
crazy.
sometimes too, guys, and then I want you to, I mean, because we can go on and on, Carrie.
Yes,
I
I'm
love
sure we could.
this conversation, and also too, guys, one of the challenges is that sometimes is just the root cause of what's causing. Sometimes they keep medicating you and not dealing with the problem.
Exactly.
If
The
you
root
don't deal
cause.
with the problem, you can medicate it to whenever.
Yeah.
You're not going to solve it. You're going to just take more
Well,
medication.
let's talk about
It
type 2 diabetes being a perfect example. Most of type 2 diabetes, again, not a doctor, but when you
right,
read and when you look around and when you talk to doctors, diet and exercise are the thing that can help you completely, for a lot of people, reverse it
right.
and turn it around. But they're like, give me the medication. It's like that is where you have an opportunity to go at the root cause in a way that's real. And people
Yes.
opt to not do that because it's not the easy way.
Well, and it's not. And I can tell you right now,
It's not.
changing your life and becoming the best version of yourself is work, right?
Yes, of
But this is
course,
work that's
and
going
it's
to
so
pay
worth
big
it.
dividends.
It's so
Big
worth it.
dividends.
Yes.
God, it's just like for me, think about it like this with your mental health and your spiritual health is
Mhm.
that, you know, the reason you brush your teeth every day is because you want good dental hygiene, right?
Yeah, you have to have brain hygiene.
And so you need brain hygiene. You need mental hygiene,
Mhm.
and you need to have a daily practice of what you're gonna do in order to become the best version of yourself. And it doesn't take a lot,
Yeah.
basically, but it does take some time, and you just have to prioritize that time.
Yes.
So look, Eric, tell people how they can reach you and how these ladies can you can help these ladies
Sure.
actually be
Sure.
better.
Yes, so my website is Carrie Out Loud, Karrie is the spelling. My Instagram is Carrie Out Loud. Let's see, and my website, my Instagram, and I have a podcast called the ADHD Entrepreneur. It's
Right.
HER at the end, but if you look up ADHD Entrepreneur, just the word, it's on Apple, it's on Spotify. Those are the 3 easiest ways to find me. I love to speak to people in the DM, so feel free to DM me on Instagram, send me a message, send me an email, Karrie Lemansky at gmail.com. That will get to me. Those are the ways to reach me.
Wow, Carrie, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm telling you, I really have enjoyed our conversation today.
Same.
I mean, you know what we're talking, this is real.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the shit right here. This is 2
You know, hey,
entrepreneurs who've been
this
around
is
a
what it's
really
all
long
about. It's
time.
like, hey, let's be real. Let's
Yeah.
just talk and basically throw stuff out there. And if it was for you, it's for you. If it's not,
Yes.
that's
And the
okay.
mic drop moment that you just shared, that I'm never gonna forget that. That is one of the fucking best stories I have ever heard. Straight up. I'm like, "You're one of my personal heroes now," because that was so spectacular. Like, talk about a blaze of glory, baby. That's the way that's the way to go down.
You talking about burning it down, man. I burned
You
it
bur
down.
You're like, "It's an inferno." Yeah, you went for it. I love you
Well,
for it.
no, hey, guys, I just wanna let you know that might not be the best
No,
way to
probably not the best way to approach it.
but at the time
When
I
that
was
was you
doing it,
were,
that was
like, in your
that's the
20s?
resource I had.
Yeah, was it were you in your 20s?
Now I know better not to burn it down,
Right,
maybe
right.
just to kind of,
Were you in
ease
your
out of
20s
it.
at the time, by any
Like,
chance?
going
Were you in your 20s?
matter of fact, I was. I
Yeah,
was,
that's how we do.
like 26,
Uh-huh.
27.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
29. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like, "Hey, man, I just burn it down." I mean,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
put a
but
match
you
to
know,
it.
that it's you have to do everything that you do along the path. As you continue on the path that you're on, you will see why it all happened that way.
Yeah, well, yeah, basically now, with my current philosophy and my
Oh, yeah.
mindset, my framework in which I work from now is
Yeah.
learning, growing, expanding, and transforming.
But how would you have
Everything that I
considered those 4
experience,
things if you hadn't sorry, didn't mean to talk over you a bit. How would you have gotten to those 4 things?
yeah,
Had you have not gone through things exactly the way you experienced them, how would you have come up with that framework from lived experience and probably the hundreds of people that you've worked with to build that and see what really works and is effective for all of those people, not just
yeah,
yourself? Like, that's freaking it's incredible. It's truly
that's what
incredible.
it's all about. So,
Yes.
what do you'd like to leave anything with the audience before you leave today?
Yes. One of the heaviest burdens you can carry is not being your full expression of
Wow,
yourself. Take off the masks. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's hard. It can be scary, but it is so much more of a better life when you do that.
wow, I
That's what I
love
got.
it, I love it. Be you, be authentic to who you are.
Yes.
And even when you said it, Carrie, I'm not lying to you, I just had chills up my body, because it's so it resonates with me so. It's
Mhm.
like, wow, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
And number 1, like I said before, I wanted to thank you for being on the show today,
Thanks for having me.
and thank all the listeners for hanging in there with us. And maybe you see it on the video, whichever how you're gonna actually get to this. But also, guys, remember that true success comes from what I embrace, what I call a legit mindset. So I ask you and beg of you to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and keep transforming
Mm.
every day. And if this episode resonates with you and you are ready for a breakthrough and what's some ever holding you back, guess what? You got 2 great professionals right here, right now that can help you.
Yeah.
Use the link below for my link and also get in touch with Carrie. If she resonates with you, reach out to her. For
Please.
me, it's all about what's right for you,
Mhm.
guys. It's not for me, no competition.
No, there's
I
enough to
mean,
go
it's
around for
not.
all of
It's
us.
like, hey, if she's right for you, go for it. If
Yes.
you like, I like this guy, let's
Yeah,
talk.
for sure. Like I said, there's always enough to go around. There's so many people in
Always.
the
It's
world, and we have
always.
so many different types of personalities. So find the person that's right for you that can really help you change your life in the way you want to, because we're all out
Absolutely.
here. We're waiting for
That's what
you.
it's all about because we
Mhm.
want you to reach your full potential. Once again, guys, my name is Curtis McCullum. Make it a great day. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show.